What's going on, everybody? It's Falchion with you once again. And once again, we are here with the boys playing. Tell the people what's up.
What's up, peeps?
Geek, what you got to say?
Welcome. Hope you feel welcome. Hope you find a home. Thanks for being here.
No doubt we are glad that you could be here with us today. And today is kind of a weird show because, and we'll get into this a little bit later, but something happened and then something else happened. And so we're going to talk about all that. I guess that's how it kind of always goes, right? But before we do, let's, as always, start off with J-Law's Today in Gaming History. So today in gaming history, 15 years ago, Test Drive Unlimited launched on the Xbox 360. Now, for me, this is a very special thing because, and it kind of helps me see like timing of my life, or a time of my life. So apparently 15 years ago is when we were heavily into like SOCOM, and playing competitively SOCOM and Ghost Recon and just all kinds of stuff like that. And the reason that I know that, or how that correlates with Test Drive Unlimited, is every night after practice or after a competition or whatever, we would go kind of wind down on Test Drive Unlimited. Do you remember that, Geek?
I do.
And so we would all hop on and just kind of cruise around doing little races or going to one another's houses in the game. It was a really good time, and I actually really kind of missed that, and it would have helped if I would have thrown that up there. Yeah, Plank, you ever play Test Drive Unlimited?
I did not. At the time, you're talking about SOCOM and stuff like that. That was PS2 era, right?
In that transition, PS2 to PS3,
Yeah.
because we played SOCOM, and SOCOM was one of the earlier titles on the PS3.
I remember SOCOM coming into the fold as consoles started to approach the multiplayer functionality of PCs,
right.
And that was a big title, especially because there was no other shooters, you know what I mean? That there was
Right.
that you had the split screen. I mean, I guess if you were a PlayStation early adopter with the original PlayStation, you could link the two PlayStations together, and with two TVs, with two copies of the game, you can do it that way. But it wasn't quite the same. I think at the time the SOCOM was out, I was playing Soldier of Fortune 2 on the PC, rocking my Pentium 2, doing my I don't even know, 2 gigs of RAM. I don't even know if RAM was that big then.
Right.
But yeah, I remember SOCOM. Didn't SOCOM also come with a headset, or you could buy a specific headset, like one of the ones that went on your neck or something like that?
Mic, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had
those.
Yeah.
Like, I remember that. And I also remember, I think in terms of gaming, SOCOM was also one of the first games that we started paying attention to celebrities playing. Because if I recall correctly, Method Man from the Wu-Tang played it, didn't he?
I have no idea.
Geek is saying no, but what are we talking about?
Okay, so I'm going to take you back a little bit. If you recall the Call of Duty commercials with Kobe Bryant, and there were a number of players that Call of Duty in that commercial, that Call of Duty had a lot of celebrity cameos.
Yeah, but so Call of Duty was 360, wasn't it?
Modern Warfare 2 was 360.
So we think Call of Duty, like the original Call of Duty title, was multiplayer on the Xbox. Did they? It did have online functionality, didn't it?
It had to have been, because
that's where we played, right?
PS and PS2, or it was PS2, didn't have the Ethernet port, right?
It did have a connection.
Or
SOCOM,
maybe it came later or something.
It came later because there was I believe there was a dongle at first when they first did it. Wow, I'm trying to go back and remember.
So long.
I know I remember Method Man specifically playing SOCOM. And I don't know if it was the SOCOM for the PS2 or for a later title, but I do know I remember him playing it. And I was like, oh, neat. Like, if you were ever out and about playing video games, you're getting owned by Method Man from the Wu-Tang.
Right. Right. Wednesday Wise is with us tonight.
Hello, Wednesday Wise. And Andrea. Hello, Andrea.
Hey, hello, Andrea and Kimberly.
I have to apologize, Andrea. I showed Ray something earlier today, but I
don't want it.
It was super cheap.
Yeah, it was $60. But yeah, and also, so what's really cool about this as well is that a new Test Drive Unlimited is close to being released at this point. So
very cool.
Very happy about that.
I say of the older games, I remember Gran Turismo was my big jam back in the day. Original
that's where it really started for me.
A-Spec and all the those were huge titles. I'm sorry, Andrea. I'm sorry.
Oh, you've been forbidden. You've been banned.
I know, man. I'm sorry.
Don't you feel like Dr. Disrespect right now?
Oh, goodness.
At least you know why, though.
But I like your new dog. Riley looks adorable.
Yeah, Riley. Me and Kimberly were looking at Riley. Kimberly was like, she wouldn't get anything done because that face is just so cute.
Right? If you were in the market for another dog, I could have just sent Zeus.
So actually, yeah, let's Andrea, will you bring them to me?
Let's see old Riley.
It was my little surprise for the stream. I better
I remember Busta Rhymes was in a commercial for maybe the portable PlayStation. Which one was that?
The PSP or
the PSP, because I remember
Vita.
It was a PSP. He was in the commercial for that because they were playing "Take Me Out" by Franz Ferdinand in the video commercial. But I remember him being in that commercial, and people it completely blew because it was so quick in the screen. Like it was just regular person, Busta Rhymes, regular person, And if you weren't paying attention, you would be like, "Wait, was that Busta that just went through the screen?"
So here's Riley.
God, look at Riley.
This big guy.
Whoa, dude.
All the puppy smells.
That is an adorable dog, man.
He is going to be huge.
Oh, I'm jelly, yo.
Say hi to the people.
Look at that face.
As Zeus sits next to me, like, why are you looking at another dog?
Right.
That is an adorable dog.
You should have isolated your screen to get that face bigger. We want to see that.
Let's see.
There he is.
Hello, Riley. Look at him. These adorbs. He's just like, what's up with these peeps?
I had to tell him all that he sees is his.
Until Sasha comes in the room.
Right.
And Sasha's like, wait, what?
She's over there looking at me right now like, you never held me up for the camera.
He is adorable. He is absolutely adorable.
Thank you. That's Big Riley now.
Very cool.
We will go ahead and send them back.
You should clip that. That will be the viewer count will jump up exponentially just because of that one dog. They don't even care about the show. They don't even care about the show. They just care about that dog.
Right? That's the thumbnail. That's the thumbnail for this week.
There you go.
Riley introductions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Kimberly. He is making appearances. But yeah, that is the new addition to the family.
Well, we're happy to see him.
Appreciate it. So, into the news then?
Into the news.
Should all be very fun. Should have probably introduced Riley afterwards just to get the blood boiled down. No, not really. So, this week, Sony fans had an interesting take on Austin Evans' videos on how the new PS5 is running hotter. So if you don't know, Sony has released in Japan and Australia a new version of the PS5. And Austin Evans, what's up, geek?
No, it's something going on here.
Oh, okay. Austin Evans, a big YouTuber, did a video on how it runs hotter, and he entitled the video "The New PS5 is Worse," and Sony fans went crazy over it, right? To the point where they were making death threats. They doxed him. They're making death threats not only to him but to people that just knew him, right? If you know Austin Evans, people were threatening your life over a video that he did. Like, really? And in the video, he told the truth, right? And so, is it a definitive video on how you would test whether or not something has a thermal issue? No, not at all. And he didn't even claim that. He said, you know what? I'm going to play a couple parts of the videos just to give everybody an idea of what I'm talking about. If you guys are cool with it. Screen share. So here's a video. It's actually kind of queued up to where.
Looks like you didn't click that box.
I kind of heard the audio. Turn up the audio.
I'm gonna have to stop it, aren't I? Hold on, I gotta stop it for a second. I always forget about that. One day I'll remember. Nope, that's not even the right button. Share.
Click.
Here. And we'll rewind it a little bit. This share. Let's try that again. This time without the oops.
Actual temperature of the models. Coming straight through the back, we have 51, 52 degrees. Okay. So now let's take a look at the new one and see where we're at here. 55, 56. So this one.
Okay. So there he said, in the video, he says that it's running hotter, and there he proved it. 51, 52 compared to 55, 56, right?
Yeah.
Not that big of a difference. It seems a little bit more if you convert that to Fahrenheit because it's more of a 9-degree difference, but all that's whatever, right? So he was honest there. And then the other thing that he pointed out is that, let me get to it. Actually kind of deep in here.
Good evening, Cheryl.
Thank you for stopping in. Hi, Cheryl.
Good evening, Cheryl.
Glad you could make it.
I almost called you Bama.
All right, I don't even know what that's about, but yeah, geek.
She moved from New York to Georgia, and so that's a New York way of giving her a hard time.
Okay.
Moving to the country, gonna eat her a lot of peaches.
That's right. Okay, ma'am.
So the other thing he said was that the heatsink is a lot smaller. So here with all the copper is the old PlayStation 5, and here is the newer one. And you can see all the missing copper. He also said that the heatsink was smaller by about half. And you can see, so you can see that as far as copper goes on the new PlayStation, there are just these two copper pipes running through, where not only does the old one have the two copper pipes, but a whole bunch of copper plating under the heat sinks as well. And copper, as we all know, conducts heat better than pretty much any other metal. That's why we use it so much. She said, "Don't start, geek." Cheryl, is he taking the bomb into the house? Because we got something. You say the word. We got something for that. But so you can see that he proved his points, right? It is running a little bit hotter. It does have a smaller heatsink, and I assume that his title was meant to grab you, right?
Yeah,
I don't think he was trying to say, "Oh, this is going to blow up" or "this is going to melt" or anything. He was just saying that is, but it's true on a very basic level, right? Now, I'm not saying that this is going to cause any problems. I'm sure that Sony tested this, and this falls within the limits of the heat that the machine can take, right? And so it's not an issue. But the fact is, what he said is true. It runs hotter. We saw that. He pointed the thermal camera. Now, how that all works internally, he didn't touch any of that, right? He just said it runs. It runs, or it's exhausting more heat, right? That's true. He said that the cooling system was smaller, and that's true. It's smaller, and there's less copper. And he said that as well. And for that, people are making threats to his life and the life of people that he knows. See, everybody got jokes. Geek.
What?
She's gonna let us know, geek. You might be catching a bullet. You might be catching a bullet tonight, geek. Already.
I did not take the bomb in the house. What's good, J-Law?
Yeah, it's a good day. It's a good day.
J-Law in the house.
So.
Shh. You're talking about the PS5. You're gonna put J-Law's panties in a bunch.
No, I think a reasonable mind would agree. You know, we saw it was hotter, right? We see in this picture that the heat sinks, the heat system, or the cooling system, excuse me, is smaller and has less conductive properties. That's not saying that it's bad. That's not saying it's going to hurt the new PS5. That's saying that it's not as good as the old one, but it doesn't have to be as good as the old one. It only has to be good enough to do its job and keep your machine safe, right? And it's very likely doing that. So there's no reason, and like, I know he's joking, but I'm not hating on the PlayStation. I'm telling you, they didn't do anything wrong. And he didn't even say they did anything wrong. All he said was, it's a little bit hotter. It's a little bit the cooling system is a little bit smaller and it has less conductive properties or whatever. And then he gave video evidence. He showed you the proof of what he was saying. But as long as it falls in the specs of what it needs to do, then there's no issue, right? So, and like I think Geek and I were talking about it earlier in the week, that like me personally, if I had to choose between the old PS5, which is really weird to say, and the new PS5, I would choose the old one. Geek said that's the same thing, right? You would choose the old one?
Absolutely.
Just because it has the ability, it runs cooler. You know, cooler is better for electronics.
Well, I'm not doing it because it runs cooler.
Well, yeah, that's me. I'm not speaking for.
I mean, that's a side effect of the fact that it has copper. As a tech guy, because of the cooling properties of copper, the dissipation of heat, it's just a better functional design.
So I'm looking at this picture here, and it looks like, again, they removed some copper, but it also looks like maybe a little bit more aluminum was added to help compensate for the lack of copper. Maybe
again, remember, this is about cost.
Yeah.
So,
and aluminum is cheaper than copper any day of the week.
Right. What's going on, Shadow? Welcome.
Hey, Shadow, and it's lighter.
Yeah, so shipping it costs less.
When you're shipping hundreds, thousands of units, and their cost savings per in shipping adds up.
Sure. I would say, especially for people like Falchion, you used to live in Arizona, you know, in those areas, cooler, you're always going to want something cooler, right? So, but for them to be testing it in the market of Asia and Australia, I think you're going to see a good example of stress testing in terms of those temperatures. You know, I'm assuming they've done a cost analysis and all that jazz and stress test over whether or not the unit functions at this temperature optimally or not. And apparently they've decided that yes, so that's why they've released this. Is there any software difference would be the big one for me? Like, I know that when they have done some hardware changes, kind of like the old PS3, the old PS3, they changed it to a different version and like you lost hardware functionality, right?
Right. So here, and let me let Shadow know. We're on here on the left. Shadow is the inside of the old PlayStation 5, the original PlayStation 5.
There you go.
And here on the right is a picture of the new PlayStation 5 that they just released in Japan and Australia. A guy here in the U.S. was able to have one shipped out of Australia to him and did kind of a comparison. And then like the Sony fans blew up and now are like sending out his personal information and threatening his life and this, that, and a third. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. But no, Plank, it's not, no, the only difference is it's a little over half a pound lighter. What you see here, as far as the heat sinks or the cooling system, what's going on, Lewis? Welcome back to the show. It's been a while, bro.
Hey, Lewis.
And there's a thumb screw. The stand has a thumb screw, and rather than a screw that is necessary to use like a tool with or a coin or something with. So now you can just unscrew it with your fingers. So those are the only difference. But what did I tell you before, right? I said this cannot be even a little bit better or worse than the old one, or people were going to be upset. And whatever you want to call this, people are upset about it. People that are going to be forced to get the newer version of it are mad because now there's a little hint And that's all it is. It's a little hint that it may not cool as well. But that's all it takes, just a little hint. And the reason why I say that is because one of the first things that happened when Hori saw it, right? He's looking for a PS5. When he saw it, he was like, I don't want that one. I want the old one because I've been trying to help him look for one. And he was like, I don't want that one. I want the old one because I don't want there to even be the chance that this is an issue later.
Yeah, because he lives in a hot climate.
Yeah, he lives in Arizona. So already, like I said, there can't be a difference. There can't be even a little bit of a difference. And so now Sony fans, the hardcore Sony fans are mad and threatening this guy's life for pointing out what's true. I mean, I don't get the anger about it. He's not saying that it's going to melt. He's not saying it's going to blow up and catch your house on fire or anything. He's just saying that, hey, it exhausts a little bit hotter and the cooling system is a little bit smaller. But he also said that it had that cool new thumb screw that makes it putting the base on and taking it off a whole lot easier. So there you go.
I don't understand why that's such a big deal. How many times are you going to change the orientation of your PlayStation?
Very rarely. You put it in one spot, you just leave it there. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like.
Maybe
doesn't need to be
that
like
because I have a screwdriver. I don't know.
Like
if you don't have a screwdriver, you have a quarter. I mean,
right. You have a penny, but I can understand the copper thing. The copper is heavier than aluminum, and so and it's more expensive, which is the bigger thing. And now Sony is making money off of the consoles. They're not losing money on them anymore. So there you go with that. But like I said, you're changing it, making these changes. You're gonna hurt somebody's feelings. If anything was different, you were gonna hurt somebody's feelings, and people, and there's gonna be a group that aren't happy, and now the group that's not happy outside of, I mean, beyond this whole fiasco with Austin Evans is anybody that doesn't have a PS5 now feel like they're getting a lesser product than what was put out before. Just with just this little bit of stuff. Like I said, I 110% believe that this all falls well within Sony specs. I feel like it's going to work really well. And to be honest with you, if there is a danger, the only danger is to those people who keep their PlayStation in like an enclosed area, like a cabinet in your entertainment or system or whatever with a closed door or whatever, because that heat's not going to be able to escape. But I think that would be an issue even with the original PS5. Not a whole lot, Lewis. I'm glad you're back, buddy. I hope everything is going well for you over there on the West Coast.
JLo asked a question about, how would you know the difference aside from taking it apart? And I was saying that usually they put what version number it is on the box.
On the box.
Yeah. You would know if you picked it up, you would see the version number on the box.
Right. It's the 1100.
Yeah.
Right.
Something 1100.
If you're not actively looking for the difference, the only way to know is that new screw. That's it.
And if you are actively looking for it, all vendors have to put that version number on the website, part of their specs, so you know what you're buying when you get to Best Buy or Walmart or what have you. When they show you in the spec list, you can look for that version number.
Right.
Geek, I know you asked me to make that change, and I have been looking for it, and I don't see where I can do that. So we'll have to try and work that out after the show.
Good
I apologize.
evening, Keisha.
What's going on, Keisha?
Hey, Keisha.
No, and that's like a very good point. An average person isn't going to know. Nobody would have ever really known unless they took it apart, right? Even testing the heat, right? Nobody would have known anything and if they never took it apart. Now, as this gets more into the wild, more people are going to be running tests and they're going to see more and more, and that's what's going to make people nervous. But on average, all things being equal, you get this thing home, you set it up, you're never going to know the difference. And most people aren't ever going to go deeply enough into their PS5 to realize the difference of what's going on basically the other side of the motherboard,
And
these systems.
we forgot just to mention again, this is only happening in Japan and Australia. So the odds of it even coming to U.S. shores right now in the interim is pretty low right now.
No,
Well,
not
no,
Unless you,
not really low, because
yeah,
that's
unless you
it's
buy
on its
from
way.
vendor.
It's
Okay.
on its way.
because of the cost savings in creation and shipping. Sony does not want two production lines running two separate products. Those are essentially two separate SKUs.
So how long are we looking at before? How long do you guys think before we see these on U.S. soil?
Depends on how fast they can make them, and that's another thing. This is Sony's answer to the chip shortage, to them being able to get out more machines, right? So I don't know if they've implemented it yet, but I remember a couple months ago they were talking about they're going to be making these different chips that run exactly the same, but could be more easily made, or can be made by somebody that they wouldn't have to worry about sharing the chip making with, like, car manufacturers and phone manufacturers and everything else.
All right, guys, we need to stop the show and recognize there she is. Lady A is in the building.
What's going on, Lady A? You missed Riley. I'm sorry you got late. You got here a little bit later. You missed Riley.
Yeah.
And I know you would have loved him. So, which one is the good one, Lewis? They're both good. They're both fine.
You're not going to notice the difference.
You're not gonna know the difference. If you need to know which one runs cooler, it's the original version of the PS5, the one that, if you're gonna find it here in the US, you're gonna find it right now. It will be one of the ones you can get right now. Here a little bit later, as they build more of the newer version and they start shipping them out to this side of the ocean, then things are gonna get mixed, and then eventually it's all gonna be that newer version. So it's not something that you really need to worry about, to be honest with you. And Sasha is yelling at Riley right now.
All right, so here, for anybody that may have been questioning it, real quick, this is the current version number, and then the newest version number will be. Hold on, I'm pacing as fast as I can.
No worries, Lewis. No worries.
There we go. So there are your version numbers.
Right. So, again, Austin spent rich people money to get the newer version. from Australia, because they're more expensive in general in Australia, and then he had to pay the shipping to ship it from there to the United States. So not many people are going to be doing that. So if you can get one now, you'll be getting the original version, and it's not going to be an issue. I mean, it's not even anything you need to think about, but it's not going to be an issue either way. They run kind of, to be honest with you, it's kind of like the whole Xbox PlayStation thing. The truth is they run very similarly, and most people won't be able to tell the difference looking at them even side by side of which, and won't be able to tell which one is which without being told which one is which. So, yes, thank you. I was actually going to tell you, he has been bugging me to get you to play Ark.
I answered
on the PlayStation, so now I'm glad you guys could
because you know who's sitting on the PlayStation right now is my son, and he's playing Genshin Impact, and Genshin isn't available on the Xbox, and he loves Genshin Impact so much so, like he's drawing Genshin Impact characters and all kinds of stuff. You know, he just loves Genshin Impact. So in order for me to play, I'd kick him out. And then even if I kick him out, like it's in my bedroom. So when my wife is asleep, I don't play in there because it's this big, huge TV and all that jazz, and trying to help her sleep.
He said it's always an excuse with you.
I know. So, you know, it's a matter of convenience, really. Yeah. And if I move the PlayStation back into the living room, then I've created the whole problem all over again.
I'm not sure, Plank, where you're getting your model numbers from.
I got them from let me see here real quick. Attack of the Fanboy.
Because I'm getting the original is the 1015B model, and the revised version is 1100B.
I mean, like I said, I got it off of the Attack of the Fanboy website, but I mean, I may be wrong.
Either way, the model numbers are different. So
yeah. And actually, Lady A, you would actually be really good at Ark, because building is just one part of it. The bigger part would be for sure the fighting dinosaurs and taming, and just the adventure the adventures that you go on while playing the game. So while you may not be good at building, I know you are good at killing things because you're a killer. I mean,
and for anybody
it's
that's
in your
interested,
name, Lady Assassin.
It's got VR support, right?
Oh, so yes, it does. It
so
does.
Yeah, VR support is also a big deal.
But are we saying that that's not in the first version, the original?
What's that?
The VR support.
No, it is. They added it later on.
Yeah, it's a later add-on, but yeah, it's on everything.
The only differences in the games, as far as I know of, with console versus PC and all that junk, is like there's mods on PC.
S plus, baby.
The Steam versions have mods that you can add to the game, whereas none of the consoles and Epic do not allow you to use mods.
True.
So only the Steam version has the S plus, which is what everybody really wants.
Yeah, we did just have an epic boss battle the other day on Ark. It was crazy, but it was a good time. So,
is that the temperature, Lewis?
Wow.
Where at?
California.
He's in California. He's in Riverside, California.
Yeah, I don't know if you should have gone that deep with telling everybody where he is. I mean, we're a safe community here, but just dang.
Well,
why don't you just give his address?
I'm in Minnesota and it's like 70 degrees.
Lewis's address is 1553. No, I'm just joking. I don't know Lewis's address. I don't know his address.
What up, D Toddy?
What's going on,
man.
DT? Donald actually just left your area, Plink. He was out in Minnesota. He showed me some pictures when he was at the Mall of America.
Oh, somebody went to the Mall of America. Did you hop on the Nickelodeon rides?
See, now Falchion got them started.
See, I was just over at IKEA like 2 days ago, right next to the Mall of America.
I said the town. All right. Not block, not avenue, not street. So you're going to have a hard time finding them.
Look, lady, it's 84 there, but like literally Minnesota is going to be winter in like 3 days. And I'm going to be, I was just talking to Falchion about it. I was like, winter is coming. This is just like freaking Game of Thrones. I'm going to have this epic winter. Last year we had negative 35 outside. And I don't know if you've ever experienced negative 35, but my dog doesn't like it at all. I don't either.
Right there.
Happy Labor Day, bro. Happy Labor Day to everybody.
Happy Labor Day to everybody.
I realized it was Labor Day, but
Plank right there. Know that you have lessened the chance that I'm ever coming to visit you. There is you with your negative 35. There was Falchion when he was in Arizona with his 125.
Yeah.
Yep.
I will say, though, our summers are great. It never, very rarely touches a triple digit. So, and then it's not like super humid like in the South and all that craziness. It's a very comfortable summer and spring. So, but
I don't know, you guys, your weather.
And I'm literally like 30 minutes. Wait, not 30 minutes. I want to say about a couple hours away from Canada. So if things go down here in the U.S., I'll learn how to tap those syrup trees.
Get your maple direct.
Get me a pet beaver. Ride a caribou around.
Have your own maple story.
No, and the interesting thing about it, we talk about it in negative 35, negative 34 and all that. And I don't want to go too far in depth because we have this whole show and blah, blah, blah. But it's designed to handle this. Yeah. My apartment runs at 70 degrees all the time, even with the heat off. It is well insulated. A lot of areas, Donald was just at Mall of America. That whole area is heated. Even the parking garages are heated. Like downtown Minneapolis, there's catwalks through the buildings. So you're not going outside in the elements unless you really want to go outside in the elements. But yeah. Hey, look at Geek. He's like, nah, it ain't for me. Not for me, bro. Not for me.
See, right there. I'm with Lady A. What she said.
But then again, y'all are floating down the street right now, Geek.
Too soon, bro. Too soon.
And just like Virginia, I don't have to worry about hurricanes no mas.
Second Avenue was a river. That was an experience.
But it cleaned your sewer systems out. So that's nice. Or your subway systems.
Yeah, the streets, when they were showing the streets, there's a lot of debris on the streets that backed up out of the sewers.
Wow, that's insane.
Bro, there are still cars on the side of the road now. Like Waze is going crazy. Vehicle stopped on shoulder ahead.
Yeah.
Vehicle stopped on shoulder ahead.
Wow.
Don't encourage him, Kimberly. Don't. So it's really, and it's a tale of two cities, literally. There are some people that I speak to, it was just a rainy day to them. And then there are the people who, my basement was flooded up to my knees, and they have a lot of damage, and so for the people who were good, they were really good. never appreciated living on the 6th floor till last storm. But yeah, we got through it. So we're drying out. And they're still towing cars off the FDR. That's how bad it was.
Let me say this so that Lady A knows I'm a local. She said she's as far north as she's going as Norfolk. She ain't going to, she ain't going to Norfolk. She's going to Norfolk.
Oh my goodness.
Was it how bad was it in Maryland, Keisha?
I bet.
I didn't know Keisha lived in Maryland. I was in Maryland not too long ago visiting J Law.
They got them red tops up there, yo.
See, now you got me afraid now you got me afraid. There he goes back to liar. I'm afraid to say anything about where Keisha lives because now you guys are like Geek is giving it up. No, I don't do that.
It's funny because like the choices, we relocated due to my wife's job, and choices were to go to Baltimore or go to Minnesota, and we chose Minnesota over Baltimore. So we wanted to get as far away from what we were used to anyway. So now we are, and I like Minnesota. That's nice. Prince's estate is up the street. They rock, and no matter what happens on the radio, you can always turn the dial and find Prince on the radio. You could go to the country station. Guess what I'm listening to? Purple Rain.
Wow. 15 cars? That's incredible.
No, that's just on the FDR. That's just one roadway.
I mean, that's still crazy. Insane.
That's nuts.
Going the opposite direction. Like I said, my Waze was going crazy. Like I couldn't get a mile without it telling me. It keeps putting up that screen. Car on the shoulder of the road, still there or not there. And those cars are all still there.
That's nuts.
Wow.
And passing tow trucks, trying to get them off the roadway. Because now we're going, that was Wednesday, Thursday, and they're still there now. That's how bad, because those cars were so submerged that they died, and they're immovable.
Yeah.
Unless you get a tow truck to pull them off.
Let's keep your dog hydrated.
I'll say them tow truck drivers about to make a stack getting these cars out of the road.
Guess so.
Yeah.
Yes, Lady A, and there, like I said, it's multiple streets. And when you're on the highway, it's kind of scary because when you go around certain curves, there are trees down and there's no way for you to see it. So you come around that curve. And on the highway, when you're at speed, that's hard to move over.
Man.
A lot of rain was in the house. Flooding in different parts of Maryland, but where I live was a lot of rain. I was in the house, and then J-Law said not bad at all. I guess it is what part of...
It really depends on what elevation you're sitting at.
Jay was saying that they were getting a lot of tornado warnings where he is.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Lady A. Lewis, be warned.
See, and as I've moved throughout the U.S. and whatnot, and I realized like all these places that get hit with hurricanes and whatnot. When we lived in the Outer Banks, every house was on stilts, and in the ones that weren't looked like they were on stilts, the bottom floors were blowout walls and stuff like that. So like this idea has been in my head forever. And every time I move someplace that's hurricane prone or flood prone, I'm like, why don't they build their houses on stilts? These idiots, Like, I don't understand why in Louisiana, that whole place should be on stilts. You know what I mean? Like, you live in a bowl. But we're sidetracking, it's crazy.
Lewis, when I play Breakpoint, I have to limit myself on how many boars I can shoot. She said I'm allowed to shoot 1 or 2 for my morning bacon, and that's it.
Know why you're killing animals on there anyways.
Yeah, Lady A, I don't ever want to. There was something I did the other day, and I was like, there was a deer, and I was like, ooh, I almost shot you, but I never know when Lady A is in the stream, so I'm gonna let you pass just because trying not to get on the bad side.
MTA train system was shut down for almost 2 days because of water in the train stations.
That's big.
New York issued their first flood emergency, not flood warning. They issued their first ever flood emergency.
Wow.
And the New York City subway system was shut down completely. All lines. And I had to go pick up my son because he worked in Midtown and the subway was shut down.
That's nuts. That's nuts. Well,
that's crazy.
We had a little bit of rain in Minnesota. It wasn't that bad. Watered my tomatoes. That's about it.
I mean, considering that something hit Maryland and not Virginia is crazy. I'm shocked.
It was really something.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you guys are safe out there, Geek.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's yeah.
I'm at the since we are on air, I'm gonna have to call Geek out because he kicked my butt about not answering text messages on the phone. And then after the storm, I sent him a text message and I said, "Hey, dude, how are you and your family?" And you know he never texted me back.
I never saw it.
You just thought Geek was dead, huh?
Yep, I was just like, I guess he's floating down the street,
right.
You know, just holding on to a door like Jack from Titanic. His wife is like, there ain't enough room for us, you know. Bye.
Out, Geek. I love you, but
oh man, I'm sorry. I did not see it.
Geek says, I'm not getting off this door. Where's your chivalry?
Geek's wife is very nice and seems very pleasant. I'm sure she would have let him on the door. Unlike that Huzzy from Titanic.
Here is.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
So yeah, last news from me anyways is anybody planning on getting Horizon Forbidden West?
So I talked to the wife about it. She is not in any rush to get it now after talking about it. Very interesting idea and maybe new trend that they're creating with this.
Possibly. So if you guys don't know, Horizon Forbidden West has been set to it was set to release kind of in the launch window of the PS5, and so about a year ago, and they said that it was going to be a free. So if you got it on the PS4, it would be a free upgrade to the PS5 if you then decided to get it there. Then this week they launched here, as you can see. These are the pre-orders that you can get. So you could pre-order it for the PlayStation, for the PS4 for $60. You could get it for the PS5 for $70. You can get it for the PS4 with an upgrade path to the PS5 for $80. And then they had some really special editions that went up to, as you can see, there's a $200 one, and then there's a $260 one. The problem is, if you were going to buy it for the PS4, and like I said, they had promised that you could upgrade it to the PS5 for free if you got it that way, and then they reneged on that and said, if you're going to buy it for the PS4, buy it for $80 then you can upgrade it to the PS5. Well, congratulations, Sony fans. You spoke out against Sony finally. Been telling you guys needed to do this for a long time, and told Sony how this was wrong. They made a promise, and in the end, Sony backed down. They reversed it. So now, if you get it for $60 on the PS4, you can upgrade it for another $10. No, excuse me. You can upgrade it for free. Just this game, you can upgrade it for free to the PS5 because that's what they said that they were going to do. But from now on, games would be a $10 upgrade from the PS4 to the PS5 after Forbidden West. So finally, Sony fans, the more insane guys, not all of them, but the more insane guys have decided that, you know, they're going to say something, and having said something, yeah, dude, having said something, Sony backed down. You know, we're all used to Sony, the hardcore Sony fans calling out everybody else for their mistakes, except for the PlayStation. But now they're calling out they called out the PlayStation, and it works. So hopefully they'll continue to do this so that Sony fans can get, you know, better deals.
Keep them honest.
Yeah, for sure.
Shadowfire, does that mean that's the version you're getting?
Honestly, I would not mind having the $260 version. I mean, what you get with it is actually it's lacking, to be honest with you, because you don't get the physical copy, but you do get the statue of that big elephant and also an Aloy statue. So that would be cool to have to display, but you know.
Not touching it.
So, okay, here was my big thing on this, and I think we had talked about this. Not so much of the upgrade, but the DLC that came with the extra versions or whatever. You know, usually, you know, if you buy at a low end, say you get the entry level version, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you decide later on that you wanted to go all out and get the extra stuff that went along with it. You couldn't buy it as a separate add-on to the game. You had to buy a new version with that on there.
Right.
Now, you know,
before you continue, let me just explain to the people what you're saying. So what it was is, if you bought, let's say you have a PS4, but you don't have a PS5. So you decided to get this game, but let's say for whatever reason you decided you weren't going to pay the $80 for it, right? Or you couldn't afford the $80 right now. You saved up. You know, we're all in hard times, so you just got that $60 version, right? And then you went out and got a PS5 later, and you wanted to go to the PS5 version. You would have to buy the PS5 version for another $70. You couldn't there was no upgrade path for doing that, for buying just the PS4 version and then moving to the PS5 version without paying another $70. I'm sorry, Plank, go ahead.
Well, at the same time, I imagine there is some digital content that will come along with this, right? That comes along with these extra versions, right?
So if you
cosmetic.
If you get,
it's just cosmetic stuff. Like there's nothing in game that you get.
You have no idea. So if you get these versions, right? Or no, I think it might be just those versions. It may be the $80 version as well, but I don't think so. You get some special poses in photo mode and like a spear or something in game.
No, you're telling me that they disabled photo mode.
No, so I misheard that, and what it is photo mode works normally, but to get some special poses for photo mode, you had to pay the $200 or the $260.
So if you
So
wanted to look
special,
at Aloy's backside like this,
right?
you had to
Like
buy
with
the
her paid
250 on.
posing with some special face paint, you had to pay $200 or $250 for it.
That's nuts.
Or you have to. That didn't change.
I mean,
So,
like, let's rewind time and look back at Fallout 76 when they released with the bag and the extra swag that came along with their expensive set. And
excuse me. I have a incoming rant.
Okay.
Look here, Lady A and Falchion. Not all of us have a PS5, all right? You and your first world problems, okay, people?
No, and Lady A, the problem is the PS5 version doesn't work on the PS4. So
it's not even backwards compatible.
Right. You have to get it. You have to get some form of the PS4 version. So the better thing to do would be to pay the extra $20. Would have been to pay the extra $20 to get it. But yeah.
That's crazy. So they purposely released two separate versions.
Correct.
That are no different. Like the PS4 and the PS5 version, outside of the PS5 version, you can use the PS5 controller. There's no difference, right? I mean, the PS5 version just uses
no visual difference.
Right, it just uses all the enhancements of the PS5. That's it. So you're paying again to use your PS5.
That's nuts, dude. That is nuts. I feel like
absolutely crazy.
This is some crazy like Ubisoft EA maneuver where they DLC you to death.
Oh, Geeks, we went over the time limit. Music just started. My bad, Geek. I didn't notice. That's my fault, Geek. I didn't.
We got the wrap it up box.
Right.
While we're talking, put this up, Falchion.
They're Geek flashed the porch light saying we had to come in. Oh,
I'm not going to play this down so we can continue talking. That's on a New York City bus.
That's crazy. That's insane.
But no, it just seems it seems like you're trying to set a trend of nickel and diming, especially on the one title you guys have. Yeah, because everybody else in terms of your titles are jumping ship. And I'm not trying to be mean to Sony or anything like that, but why would you do that? But apparently, talking to them kind of worked, and they backstepped on a few things.
It took 5 years, J-Lo.
Look at that.
I mean, it's
wow. Look at that guy's hair. What happened? And look at this gentleman. Hurricane messed him up. No, but no, it feels like to me like that Sony is really trying to force out the PlayStation 4 users.
Exactly. Like they really just kicked the PS4 users in the mouth on this one. Like you have to pay right now for a game on a system that you don't have if you're going to play this game, and you're not ever guaranteed to have. Because I mean, not saying that there's not going to be a time when everybody can get a PS5, but we're living in dangerous times. I mean, we're living in extremely dangerous times where a simple mistake out in the world could cost you your life. And I mean, it's always been that way, but that's been heightened now with the pandemic, right? So a simple mistake, somebody sneezes in your face or something, could literally cost you your life, right? And so there's no guarantee that you're ever going to even get a PS5. So why would Sony want to treat, and most of Sony's people right now are still on the PS4. So why are you treating your biggest base, your largest base so poorly as to try to make them pay all this extra money?
And the crazy part is it's really not the Sony users. I don't want to say the Sony users' faults that they can't get these devices.
Right.
So,
it's not like most of these people are saying, I'm just not going to get it right now.
They want to buy
can't
it.
get it, right?
They want to buy it.
Right. It's not like you can just go, and that's what a lot of like PlayStation fans are saying. Like the hardcore PlayStation fans are like, well, if you want to play it, just go out and get a PS5. No, it's not that simple. If it were that simple, there would be a lot more people having these PS5s. It's not that simple unless you want to pay ridiculous prices for them.
And they know, the problem that is with stock and things like that. It's not like they're not unaware of it. So,
but I have to admit, I'm feeling proud of a lot of PS5 fans that before I just had a bunch of disdain for, because they did stand up for PS4 players where normally they don't. Normally they don't care about them, and they said, "Hey, this isn't fair. You made this promise. Keep this promise." And a lot of people also said, hey, you need to figure out what the upgrade path is and stick to it. Whether it be we're going to pay $10, and so which makes all PS5 games $70, right? So if you pay for a game on the PS4 is $60, then you got to pay another $10 to reach that $70 mark to be able to play on the PS5. But what I wish is that they would have just gone ahead and stuck with the $60 way the industry is right now, and just kind of stuck with everybody else. But people are saying they're industry leaders right now, so they can get away with this. Now they are industry leaders right now, but they can only get away with this because we have chosen to allow them to get away with this. If, as you can now plainly see, if their fan base would have been complaining about this $70 thing, they would have had no choice but to go back to what is the industry standard. Personally, I'm not a whole lot surprised or mad about it. I mean, I've been gaming long enough that I know that game prices change over the years, but it's always a thing where sorry, that I was waiting for that thing to just launch into the air, and I know how heavy those things are. I was like, oh my god, somebody's about to die. I don't know if we can show this because somebody's about to die right here on stream. No, but yeah. So, that's what I wish, that PlayStation fans would have stuck up to it, or stood up to them for that, and said, "Hey, do that price hike when the industry does it. You didn't have to jump the gun, but they decided to." And unfortunately, like, we in the US, people in Europe are kind of lucky about it, because yeah, the games are $70 now, but if you look at somewhere like Brazil or Australia, the games are now like $130 a piece. See, that's what
we're touching
nobody looked at.
We're touching Neo Geo territories here with
Yeah, for real. So, that's the problem. The problem may not be affecting you directly, but it's affecting people that are in your community, and you simply don't care. And that is the sad part about it. But on this one, they stood up, they made their voices heard, and here we are. Sony has backtracked. So for all you guys with PS4s that want to get Forbidden West, you can get it for $60. And when you do eventually get the PS5, you can make that upgrade for free. But from now on, games will be $60 for the PS4, and then to upgrade to the PS5, like the new God of War coming out or whatever, the upgrade path is going to cost you an extra $10 to make that game $70, which is now the PlayStation standard.
I was gonna say while we're at the subject of Horizon, just real quick. I know we're at the end point. If you really want to see Aloy in another game aside from Horizon Zero Dawn, she is out right now in Genshin Impact. My son just got her, and he thinks this is the coolest character in the world. So
that's awesome. And Geek, so this isn't your house, right? Like this isn't anybody near you, right? Because this stuff looks horrible.
Yeah, it is people near me.
That's nuts, yo. It's nuts.
So it just depended on where you were. How badly you were affected.
Where the elevation was, or it was high or low in the elevation.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's nuts.
Because Queens and Brooklyn, that's just another town over. It's a borough in the city. And it was just horrendous. There was somebody who died in their car on the FDR, a major thoroughfare in New York City. And they got caught in the water and they drowned in their car.
It's crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah. People do not drive through the water.
Right.
It's not safe. I promise you.
I'm with you on that, Shadow, man. That's
what they were being told. You don't know how deep that water is. Don't drive through it. Turn around.
Coming from a guy who lived in Hurricane Alley, like in the Outer Banks and stuff like that, you don't know where the ditch is. And you will drive right into it and you'll be 10 feet underwater. Like, be careful.
And again, major highways. I'm in the Bronx on the Cross Bronx Expressway. Wherever there were dips and valleys, there were cars stuck.
Yeah,
that's horrible.
There's an area that I live at, near where I live, that I've ridden my bike at, and when it heavily rains, that whole area floods out and whatnot. So yeah, I can only imagine. That's on the Missouri River, though, so that's nuts. That's to be expected, though, not like in the city like that.
Right.
So, guys, even though Faustin played the overtime music, we're still going. What's happening here?
That's why I just went.
This is your topic right here. We're talking about your stuff right now, so we're hanging on to your words. But yeah, Cheryl says. I mean, excuse me. I'm sorry, Kimberly. I'm sorry, Kimberly. I'm really sorry. I didn't
man.
Miscall your name. People always underestimate the power of water. That's true.
Now
Plank had to make it a song.
My friend who has now turned my dinner into cold briquettes. Thanks, sir.
Thanks, sir. I'm just going so fast.
You might as well go hop in that car and get yourself some more Wendy's chili.
Whoa. But you can't drive the car. It's flooding. But
this guy right here.
Wow.
On that note,
that. Plank, tell them where they can find you, because man, I don't even want to say anything.
Oh well, yeah. You can find me, Plank, here at the Borderless Gaming GSA network under this show, or perhaps on Twitch as Plank as Plank GJE. I've been streaming Forza and not responding to anybody, according to Geek, which he was absolutely right. So if you want to see me play a game and not
I appreciate you making his dinner,
that's where I'll be. You can find me on Steam, PJ Danger, Discord as Plank, Instagram Plank909. Putting up more pictures. I think the last picture I put up, did I put up the chorizo? I did a chorizo and chickpea hash. It was pretty good. Pokemon Go, beating up little children. I don't care how old you are. You got a gym, I'm taking it. Okay.
So horrible.
I'm coming to wreck. All right.
Geek, where can we find you? Before Plank just gets the channel kicked off the YouTube.
On Xbox, you can find me at GKMSTR space NYC. That's Geekmaster without the vowels at NYC. On PlayStation, Steam, and Discord, it's Geekmaster without the vowels. So just GKMSTR. And on Uplay, it's Geekmaster NYC, all spelled out. And now you can find me on the YouTube Wednesday Wise page. That's Wednesday.
My goodness, he remembered to say it. I was ready to hit the fail button. You go, geek.
Man plugged himself. There you go. Because the wife is standing there just like this. Like, where can they find you?
Bro.
I had to show my pride in you.
After Fauci just threw me under the bus, you can't get 2 mistakes in a row. So I'm trying to save myself. The life that I saved may be my own.
Wednesday Wise was good. I did enjoy it. It's good stuff.
Yeah, if you guys aren't watching Wednesday Wise, you're definitely missing out. It's a fun show, and it's funny. You definitely want to check that out.
Yeah.
And people we're looking for topics. So yeah, she is Shadowfire. We're looking for topics. You know, we're always discussing the craziness of America right now. And so I know that there are more topics. We've got some, but we're open to your suggestions.
Awesome. And finally, if you're go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. I'll save it for the very, very end.
If you're looking for me, PlayStation, Steam, and Twitch, it's Faustin757. On the Xbox, I'm Faustin GSA. And here on YouTube, right where you are now, Borderless Gaming GSA. Go ahead, Geek. I'm sorry.
Episode 30 is in the can.
The big 3-0. Thank you guys for showing Riley so much love. And this has been Faustin. You know me. I'm Ghost. 2 fingers is peace. Until next time. Later.
We bid you good morrow.
Oh, there you go. Wednesday Wise at gmail.com. Kimberly put up the email address for you guys to send suggestions. Get those suggestions out because you may find your suggestion on a whole episode of Wednesday Wise. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, Keisha.
The right button. Good night. Good night.